Hey guys, what's going on? So I wanted to do a real quick video on investing in dividend stocks, and especially if you have like a business, because it's all about claiming a loss and then you don't put into Social Security. No one's going to give you a pension unless you worked for somebody before you started your own business. A lot of these investment companies, they want a lot of money and fees, this, that, and the other thing. And before I get too far into it, I want to say in the description, there's a bunch of different platforms now that you can trade stocks on. I'm going to put Robinhood in the description. And if you join up through my link, you'll get a free stock and I'll get a free stock. And also, this is not financial advice. This is just me going on, take everything I say, anybody says with a grain of salt. But back to it, I asked a question in Wall Street Bets in the Facebook group, Wall Street Bets. I already knew the answer, but I asked how much money would it take to make, like how much money in investments would it take to make $1,200 a year? And realistically, you're looking at like $250,000 in a well-branded stock. But if you want to go to that group and look at my name, Travis King, you can see all the answers. There were some people that gave out some good stocks that had good high-paying dividends, and the stock prices were super low too. But the bad thing is, those were more unbranded stocks. They might do away with dividends. They have those big dividends trying to draw you in as investors. But if it doesn't work out and the business model fails, they might get rid of dividends first, and then they might go bankrupt. They get rid of dividends, you're stuck with a crappy stock. They get rid of, if they go bankrupt, you're just out of your money. But dividends are basically what you get paid for owning a portion of that company through the stock as an investor. So you actually own that company. Once you buy that dividend stock, you're a part of that company, and now you get part of the profits as a result. The company's gone public, you're buying in. But with good branded companies that have a better chance of not going under, like Coca-Cola, that's one that Warren Buffett always uses. He always says, Coca-Cola is acquiring all these other drink companies. They're not going anywhere. They've been around for a while. Everything's always a gamble, but he always says they're not going anywhere. They're well branded off that brand name alone, Coca-Cola. They're going to sell drinks, right? So it's a safer bet that way. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to keep just building up my portfolio, and then when it's time to retire, as of right now, just keep reinvesting those dividends. When it's time to retire, live off those dividends, transfer that money when I pass away to my children, teach them how to invest. That way they can keep investing, building it up. And then when they're ready to retire, they live off the dividends, and then their children, and then you create generational wealth for your family, But there's a lot of people, like younger people especially, that buy into these meme stocks. I'm not saying not to. I know a lot of people that made a lot of money off these meme stocks. But if you look at it, like they always squeeze at some point, and people don't know when to sell. That's the biggest problem. Like my one buddy's holding on to AMC like a lifeline. He thinks you got these young kids that push all this verbalized garbage, and all it is BS at the end. So they're pushing meme stocks still that have already squeezed, that are done. They're pump and dumps, really. And it's just kind of sad. But these people don't know how to trade stocks. They don't know how it works, so they just keep buying into it. But so that's why I tend to stay away from the meme stocks nowadays. I have bought into them before. I've made money with them before. But now I'm just building up my dividend portfolio. I don't want to have to watch it every day. I just invest the money, usually with a well-branded stock like Bank of America. If you look at it 5 years ago, it's up from 5 years ago on inflation alone. And you're watching the biggest inflation probably of our lifetimes happen right now. So everything's going to go up probably. And that's why I feel like it's a good time to get in. That's why I'm making this video. Like I'm talking like right now, like things are about to jump, I think. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, if you were to invest in stuff like right now I'm watching Bayer. Bayer, they acquired Monsanto's, and when they did, they inherited all the BS lawsuits from Roundup because it causes cancer or whatever. They're trying to take it to federal court so nobody can sue them for that no more. If it goes through, I feel like that stock will jump way up in stock price, because you want to invest in stock price too, but the dividends don't make it. Dividends are another good reason to invest in stocks like that. 360 Digitech I was watching. Now that one is, I don't know if it's that well branded, but it has a really high dividend return, and it's under, I feel like it's under priced right now, personally. And, sorry, I'm just getting over a cold. And, what was the other one? I can't remember the other one, but there's some really good dividend stocks. And another good, if you look at it, like if you were to invest in a house, like I have a buddy who literally took a loan out, and he had a financial advisor, and this financial advisor, this is why you can't just go off things because of popularity and because of influence. Like people have popularity and influence, and you think that they know what they're talking about. Almost 9 times out of 10, if you go on to something because somebody came on the scene and wanted popularity and they wanted to have influence, they're doing it for motives of their own, for usually to make money. And usually there's a consequence to the buyer, you, every single time. And so be wary of those who have influence or are trying to push stuff on you. Just because they're popular, they have influence or titles, doesn't mean they know what they're talking about all the time. But and that's not just with stocks, that's with everything. I see it happen in all aspects of life pretty much. But he ended up taking like $80,000 out in a bank loan to put into Bitcoin when it was high, and then it went low. So he lost a lot of money. I'm talking like he's down to 40,000 basically. But in theory, you could take out, like with the interest rates being as low as they are and everything. I wouldn't say Bitcoin because that's so volatile, but I think I said that word wrong. But if you put it into something that is more safe, like a dividend stock, you could definitely make money in the end. Not suggesting you do that. I'm just saying in theory you could. I mean, people buy houses, they take loans to buy houses and rent them out. Well, you're making $1,000 a month basically off of $250,000. That's, I mean, depending on what you pay for rental houses, not flip houses, rental houses, you're about the same really in the end. And it's all just to pay off that house, right? You're just working towards your retirement. Now, again, not suggesting you do this. Not at all, but not saying it couldn't be done. That's not the route I'm taking. I'm just putting profits away and putting them into stocks. And another good, but also with the stocks, you don't have the headache of people calling you to fix hot water heaters, hot water tanks, toilets and stuff in the middle of the night. But I'm still going to invest in property just because it's good to have a diversified portfolio and stuff you invest in, physical and, like real assets also. I want to invest in storage units because I got so much crap. Like this is a 2-car garage and I can't even walk through here. There's trailers everywhere. I got another shed full of stuff. Like it's ridiculous. But if you, another good tactic to use is insider trading is not illegal with like big time politicians like Congress and stuff. And everybody wants to kiss these butts of these politicians because then they get political favors, and politicians don't get in trouble for nothing. Let's not joke. Like they don't. So insider trading isn't illegal. Nancy Pelosi has one of the best track records because everybody wants to kiss her butt. She has a really high title. And people are starting to leak her option. Now, options are different than dividend stocks, so you definitely want to make sure you research how options are traded. You're basically betting if the stock's going to go up or down. So Nancy Pelosi usually does calls. That's betting it's going to go up. And if you were to follow what she does, you're almost guaranteed to make money because she has a phenomenal track record. But I'm going to try to put some more videos up because I know I'm a little under the weather right now and boring. I want to put something together that draws in attention so people pay attention because this is important, like really important. You got to think about your future. You got to think about your family's future. You got to invest. Like you have to invest for your future. But I hope this could help some people. And remember, don't go off of stuff just because it's popular. Like you almost always will have a negative consequence when you do.